break or go home, right? Hello, this is Guitar Pick 01 with another Movie Monday, and today we are going to be doing a movie requested by Deanna Everson. So, first time I watched this movie, I was a freshman in high school, and I went to this little party. Actually, it wasn't really a party. I didn't really go to parties in high school. I went to gatherings. So I went to this shindig, this gathering, and they were kind of like, oh, we're going to watch Phantom of the Opera. And at the time, I was excited because I had always wanted to see this movie. I had heard a lot of good things about it, and I always wanted to see it, so I watched it. About 30 minutes into the movie, I remember thinking, oh my god, what the hell have I dragged myself into? This movie sucks. And I remember we finished and everyone was saying how awesome it was, and I was the only one at the party saying this movie sucks balls. So I have not been recepted or liked well for this fact. That's the way it is. Okay, so the synopsis of this movie, from what I can gather, because this movie makes little to zero sense. Basically what happens is it starts with there's an auction in an old opera house, rundown opera house, and we find an old Patrick Wilson at an auction. He's trying to win a monkey. He wins it. It transitions to back in 1890 in Paris. They're doing an opera. Christine has some discovered talent. Patrick Wilson's in town or something like that. They reconnect. Phantom of the Opera, who is the angel of music, lures into her later, tells her how much he loves her, and she takes off his mask. He flips the out. Then a bunch of random shit happens where they have operas and Phantom tries to intervene. The whole movie is basically a struggle between her and Patrick and her and the Phantom. That's basically the entire movie. He writes an opera, she plays in it, he kidnaps her, he gets mad, he doesn't leave, and then basically she dies. Phantom of the Opera gave this movie a 33%, saying the music of the night has hit something of a sour note. Critics are calling the screen adaptation of Andrew Lloyd Webber's popular music histrionic, boring, and lacking in both romance and danger. Still, someone praises the film for its sheer spectacle. There are two kinds of people in this world. There are people that like Les Mis, and there are people that like Phantom of the Opera. I love Les Mis. I think Les Mis is awesome. I think that the plot and the characters of Les Mis are a lot more developed, a lot more real world, and a lot more significant than the people and the problems presented in Phantom of the Opera. Despite my hate towards this movie, I'm gonna say there are some pros. One pro is the first 5 minutes. Is honestly probably the best. I won't even go far as to say is the best. I'll say the only decent watchable part of the movie. Although it makes no sense, it's watchable. Probably the second best thing about this movie is the music. Although the music isn't sung well in this movie, like, by any means. If you listen to the original Broadway recordings, if you listen to this music and how it's going in the style, it's good. You know, I don't think it compares to Les Miserables or West Side Story or anything like that, but like, it's listenable. Like, if you pull up, it's a listenable soundtrack. Probably the biggest pro of this movie is Emmy Rossum. Not because she can sing, but because she is hot. Incredibly hot. They could not have picked a better, more innocent-looking person for Christine than Emmy Rossum. Well, maybe Scarlett Johansson. And that's what I've been waiting for, my list of cons. I have highlighted here 11 big cons of this movie. I originally had something like 50 or 60, but for the sake of time and effort, I decided to narrow it down to 11 big general categories, which I'll probably hopefully cover almost everything. Okay, first big con of this movie. Monkey is creepy as When I watched that movie and I watched the monkey It reminds me of the Jim Carrey remake of The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, or whatever the hell that movie's called. The only thought I have to give about that movie is, no wonder the Phantom is so because he has this monkey. I mean, hell, if I woke up to a monkey like that every day, I'd be kind of too. I'd wear masks. I'd wear a mask and I'd stalk girls too, and I'd play dolls. Second thing, I respect Patrick Wilson as an actor. Like, he did great in Insidious, he did great in Hard Candy, he's done great in other stuff. But in this movie, he's a total douchebag. And he has long hair. Okay, third con. This cast, from a musical standpoint, has zero to little talent. Patrick Wilson probably, honestly, before this movie started, had probably the most musical experience of the entire cast combined. He was on Broadway, but that was probably long before his acting career, and his talent didn't really shine in this movie. Gerard Butler, who is cast as the main character, had zero singing experience. Not like a little bit on the side, not like he had like a small like band. He had zero singing experience. Minnie Diver had some. She's that soprano bitch. She had some songwriting experience with him, but that does not make her qualified to sing a lead soprano actress in an opera house. Even Emmy Rossum, who in my opinion probably had the best singing voice in this movie, had like no singing experience prior to this movie. The casting directors just did a really job casting people. You know, Hollywood just doesn't mind putting actors, wherever. Doesn't matter how of a singer they are. Oh, sorry. Was that a bad joke? Was I supposed to stay up for another one? Number 4, Minnie Diver is a total bitch in this movie. I mean, I get that it's her character. It's hard to watch. Either way. Con number 5, I mean, I don't think anybody even realizes this, like, the hardcore fans. In 1890s Paris, don't you notice that none of the characters even try remotely to have, like, a French accent? They might as well just be Americans dressed up in Paris costumes from the 1980s and, like, be in an opera house, like, transported. I mean, that would probably make more sense. Number 6, why the hell does he need money? I mean, does he need to buy groceries? Like, send his kids to college? Like, what the does he need money for? I mean, he has a dungeon. Why in the world does he need any kind of demand any kind of money from them? It makes zero sense. Another really terrible thing about this movie is how staged it is. There are just scenes where it's so staged and so horrendously played out and sung and just staged. Okay, this is by far my biggest con. I have an entire con dedicated to the Phantom. There are about a million things wrong with the Phantom. First of all, this character is probably the most important character in the entire movie. It's played by Gerard Butler, which, I mean, I'm not a fan of him as an actor, but I mean, at least as an actor, I mean, he has at least, like, some build-up and some standing. But he has no singing talent whatsoever. People think he's a great singer. You are full of shit. He can't sing worth a hell crap. Honestly, Robert De Niro would have done a better job playing Phantom of the Opera, and that is saying something. And it probably would have made the film more awesome.
You talking to me? You talking to me? Well, then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
Number 2, the number 2 thing I hate about the Phantom, this is probably one of the creepiest characters I've ever seen in a movie. He looks like Michael Myers. He has an underground creepy cavern that looks like from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He has a mannequin of Christine. This may as well be Halloween, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs all in one movie. Christine is not at all fazed by the fact that this is probably one of the creepiest people ever. As well as the audience and the viewers. Nobody thinks that the Phantom, he's like, oh, he's got a weird guy. No, he's a creepo. Okay, number 8. This is probably the second biggest thing that I have a problem with in this movie. The regular dialogue to singing dialogue, like ratio, flow, is like totally off. But first of all, let me explain. There's singing dialogue and there's musical numbers. Musical numbers is within a song and the people are actually singing.
Sing once again with me.
Versus singing dialogue, which is people communicating as they would in regular dialogue, but doing it in sing-song form.
And did you send it? Of course not. As if he would. You didn't send it? Of course not.
If you watch the movie Les Miserables, you can see this a lot. Although some people consider Les Miserables annoying for its like opera-likeness, it's at least consistent. because almost the entire movie, except for maybe a few words, is singing dialogue when they speak to each other. However, in The Phantom, they followed no kind of such... They followed no such flow. It'll be 20 minutes of regular dialogue, 20 minutes of singing dialogue. Like, there's absolutely no pattern. It's just random. Whenever the hell they feel like it, they'll start doing singing dialogue. It makes absolutely no sense. It's confusing. It's hard to watch. You are sitting there just like, what the f*** is going on? I have absolutely no idea. I just wanted to point out that the masquerade scene basically turned Eyes Wide Shut into a musical. That's all I'm going to say about that. Con number 10. The operas in this movie are terrible, and they make no sense. The first two that are presented in this movie are, they're weird, they make no sense, they're annoying. And these operas are in English, mind you. They're not like in in a foreign language like real opera is. The cast is terrible. Besides the fact that the operas in this movie presented suck, the thing that doesn't make any sense is the Phantom gives them a script for an opera in a matter of a few days. I'll give them a week. I'll give them a week tops. They are able to construct sets. They are able to get props. They are able to learn the music, learn the lines, and have it accurately and well-finished product within a week that is presentable. Having worked in theater and knowing how long it takes to get together, even for a professional, there's no way it'd be able to get that done in a matter of days. Final big con. The ending. At this point in the movie, I have no idea who the hell I'm supposed to root for. Christine is a hormonal bipolar. I don't know what the she's thinking. Patrick Wilson is a douchebag, but he seems to have some good motives. Gerard Butler, he's supposed to be a protagonist, but he's not. He's a protagonist and antagonist, and he's creepy. I honestly just have no idea who's the protagonist, who's the antagonist, what the hell is going on. It makes absolutely no sense. And this ending, instead of having, it's missing something that musicals usually have when they end it. Oh yeah, an overture! This movie has no ending whatsoever. It literally ends with a poorly constructed and middle song where he tells them to leave, and they leave. Then it's him watching the monkey, then he leaves. It's the graveyard. Christine's dead. We find out the last 30 seconds in the movie. He puts the monkey in the tombstone. Fans a rose. Screen turns to color, and the movie ends. So what does the ending tell us? That Patrick Wilson still has feelings for Christine. The Phantom is still alive and also still has feelings for Christine, even though she's dead. So what we're willing to conclude is that Patrick Wilson taking her away from the Phantom had her die. But we don't even really know that. She could have just died of natural causes. So really this ending makes no sense and it gives us no reassurance about what happened whatsoever. So that is my review on Phantom of the Opera. Okay, my final grade I give this movie is an F. So comment below, subscribe, give me suggestions, tell me what you think. If you have any requests for any other future videos, let me know. I'll get those to you. And have a good night.
In sleep he sang to me, in dreams he came. That voice which calls to me and speaks my name.